Hello, hello. Saturday night with Seint Beauty and me, Simply Susie here. It's a no judgment zone tonight because guess what? I'm wearing Christmas leggings. And yep, it is almost the end of January, but they are so comfy and cozy, so I put them on. So no judgment here, right? We're going to talk about makeup and we're going to apply it as we're talking about it. How about that? I think I'm going to use the detail brush. This is my favorite brush. These two brushes, I feel like everyone needs. I always suggest this one for beginners because it comes in the bronzer collection and it's really easy to use. It's really easy to apply. But hey Carrie! But this one is really good for the details. It's good for your contour and to get in the smaller areas, and it's got the smaller end where it's a little more precise. So these two are the ones that I would always say, if you need two brushes, it's this one. And then the third one would be an eyeshadow brush if you buy eyeshadows. So we're gonna go over what I'm fixing to put on my face. So this is my handy dandy's little magnetic palette. And look at that. These little tins, they just pop right in. You customize it. You pick the size that you want. It's totally what is in your budget. You can go big or go as small as you want. But for me, I like the ones that are here because I have plenty of options for me. Oh, is Charlie there watching too? I love Charlie. I love Charlie and Shelby. Can't leave out Shelby. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on a highlight and contour on one layer on my face, and then we're gonna blend it all together like a madwoman and watch the magic transform. So I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit so you can see a little better. Okay. So first I'm gonna start with my contour color. I'm gonna use this scary color called Indigo, and then I'm using the detail brush. So I'm just gonna kind of hold it in there and I'll wiggle it back and forth. Our contours are just a little harder. It's a little bit different formula than our creamy highlight colors, but you still don't have to have a lot. And I'm just gonna kind of put it right there along, right at the bottom of my cheekbone, almost on it. And I know that was crazy and scary. That's okay, it'll blend out. And then we're gonna put it up here. Everyone's face shape is just a little bit different. So when you have your makeup, you just kind of play with it and apply where you need it. And sometimes you may make it what you think is an accident and it end up being the best thing. It's like, oh, I love that. So you just kind of play with it. And I'm gonna go right here along my jawline. Just a little bit. And right up under here. And then you can always, if you want to try to carve just a little bit on each side of your little windpipe, I still bronze down here too, but we'll blend that in. And then I'm going to go under my lip. And you just got to trust the process because it will all blend beautifully. And so for this detail brush, it's got these sharp edges. Just kind of wiggle it, and then you can kind of stamp it on there. You want your lines to be right where the natural shadow is. You kind of come in just a little bit closer. Make your lines a little bit closer so it'll make your nose appear smaller. I have a nice size nose. The detail brush is my favorite too. It's probably even my favorite over the blush bronzer brush, but I use both of them about the same. So there we go, and I'm just gonna put a little bit extra up here. Give myself a little mustache. A mustachio question. Okay, so now I've got my contour on. So now where I don't have my contour, I'm gonna go in with my main shade Sandy. So this is called a highlight, or your foundation, your base foundation. And I'm just gonna kind of clean that up a little bit. And I'm not really blending it because we'll kind of do that at the end all together. I'm just stippling it on right now. And I just barely tap in there because you don't need a lot of product. These little tins should last you about 2 to 4 months. And then your contour would last even longer, 6 months to even a year. Just because you don't need a lot. And if your skin is oily or dry, or has problematic, different areas, it's perfect for all. It can work for all. And I can help you pick out the colors that you need. Okay? So really lightly down the center of my face. I kind of left these areas open right here because we're going to go back with a brightening color there. And it is buildable. If you want a fuller coverage, you can always go back and add. It's a lot easier to go back and add a little bit more than it is to take it off. And so now I'm going to go in with this yellow color. It's called Sunlit. And I'm going to dip the smaller end in it. The smaller end. Sound like Peter Brady. And I'm just going to kind of barely feather right here in the corner, and then I'll even drag it on the side of my nose a little bit. Then you can kind of give a nice little lift to your eyeballs. Sarah Seint Beauty's on. And then I'm going to go just right down the center of my face. On our Zoom call yesterday, it was so sweet to see you and your girls on that call. I thought, look at them, little entrepreneurs. Oh, on my eyes. This is Sedona, which is a favorite. It's a huge favorite. Mija, Philly a little bit in the outside, and then Soulmate. Yeah. Love it. I wore it last night. And I wore it today. Because it was right there handy dandy. I know, it's so precious. I love seeing them on there. I thought, look at them. Look at those girls. Isn't that it's a pretty combo, isn't it? Especially for me, who really don't think outside of the box too much. Okay. There we go. Stropped up like a skunk. Isn't that lovely? Now we're ready to blend. So usually what I will do is I will grab this brush, my blend brush, because it's got I could blend with this side, this big fluffy end. You can put powder on it. You can bronze with it. It's what I love it for. Or you can use this end. This is great for applying or blending too. But I'm just going to blend with this because I've got this one. So if this is the only brush that you have, we're going to use it. And we're just going to go through and blend it all together. And what I always do is I start with my lighter colors first, and then I blend into the darker. And the reason that I like to put on my contour, see how that kind of cleaned that line up too? The reason that I like to put my contour on first is because I feel like I can go a little more heavy-handed with it, and then when I put the other colors around it, it'll kind of mute it down, and it makes it, when they blend into each other, I feel like it kind of softens it a lot. But you can do it any way you want to. If you wanted to do your bronze, your contour at the end, you could do that as well. There's no wrong way to do it. You just find what works best for you. Okay. And then always blend up into your hairline. If you are a light blonde, kind of be careful, especially when you do your bronze, because it could sometimes get on your hair, and I'll usually just pull mine back if I need to. But I have just enough of these nice roots that I'm not a natural blonde, as you can tell. but this sunlit looks good on everybody. I feel like it's a universal brightening highlight color, and I mean I can wear it on my face too, but it blends so pretty and just gives you such a nice glow. Like the sun from within. God, my face is on here big. My big old mug is right up here. I probably need to zoom out some, but you might as well see what I'm selling over here. Okay, so now the last thing that I have is my contour on my cheeks, and I'm going to kind of push that up, and I try not to blend it all the way right in the beginning, because when I put my bronzer and my blush on, they all kind of work together, and it'll soften this a little bit more too. And I could always go back and add some more if I needed it. But you see how I've got a full face. I'm trying to lose weight so it's not as full, but I'm on this E2M program where, I mean, I was telling my husband about today, I said, we can only have this, this, and this. I said, no wonder I'm going to lose weight, because I barely can eat anything. But I've not been hungry. You have to fast. You eat for 8-hour window and fast, and then they give you a list of food and the exercises to do, which I got to tackle the exercises a little bit. I'm not quite there yet. So now when you're done, you'll kind of go in, reassess the situation. Let me grab my mirror, and I'm going to look, because it's hard to see on my phone. And I'm going to see, do I need to blend anything else? Sometimes when you're just slapping it on, it's a lot easier just to do it when you're not talking through it, and a lot quicker. And I'll kind of drag it down my neck, but I'll also bronze my neck. So, good enough. I will go just a little bit. I'm going to barely touch my finger into the sunlit. Just barely touched it. And I'll go right down the middle again. I should always contour the sides of my nose last, but I never do. I never do. And that's okay, because there's no wrong way. All right, there's my face. Everything's on. I don't have it bronzed yet. I don't have my lip and cheek, but my face is on. It's multi-dimensional. That's why we call this a 3D foundation, because what you're doing is you're creating shadows, you're bringing the light, you're making your face, because I mean, it's kind of like you map your face out too, but all of a sudden it comes to life. Instead of being like a flat pancake, it's just one color and it all blends in. You kind of have the life. Now, the icing on the cake is the bronzer, in my opinion. So I think I am, I could apply it with this. You know what? And that's what I'm going to do, because I told you could. I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go over to my second. So this is my first layer. I'll wear just a couple of these colors. I can wear more, but I just usually put a couple on when I'm applying each time. And then here is my lip and cheeks, my favorites. Here's an illuminator, and then here's my bronzers. So I'm going to just get this brush, and I'm going to just tap into the bronzer, and I'm going to go kind of right above where I contoured. Almost the same place that I'm going to apply my blush as well. Kind of layer them. This will really warm your face up. We have 4 bronzers. One is universal, it's Bella. I feel like everybody can wear it. And then if you are, a lot of people can wear tan lines too. And the other two is, one is for, it's really dark, it's kind of a reddish bronzer. It's gonna be a lot darker skin. And then the palm it looks yellow. I've not seen a lot of people wear it, but there's people out there that it's for, so I need to probably try to find swatches so I can understand that color a little bit better. It doesn't look like a bronzer to me. They didn't ask me. Believe it or not, they didn't care what I thought. And I'm gonna bronze my neck just a little bit, and I'm just barely touching this. This is sheer, so it's just gonna bring a smidgen of color, not really any pigment or any coverage. But my face is darker naturally than my neck. It always has been. I'm not sure either. Leah, what are you doing? Yay! Listen, when I first started on Pinterest, I used to scroll Pinterest all the time. And when I scroll Pinterest, I would be like, wow, I watched Jaclyn Hill. I don't know if you've ever heard of Jaclyn Hill. But I thought, now I mean, it's not that I'm not a huge fan, but I was like drawn in. I watched her all the time. I would stay up late watching. I watched her all the time. Thought it was amazing. And then I just kept looking on Pinterest. Never dawned on my dodo brain to go look YouTube or somewhere else. And then on YouTube I found it. And then when you start pulling up videos that you like, I would search her name, and then all these others, I would go to sleep watching makeup videos all the time because it is so relaxing and it is so fun. And I just had someone over here today, and I told them, I was like, you know, after wearing this makeup for a year and a half, it is still fun to put it on. Like, I can sit in here and play in it for, I feel like, hours. It is just a fun makeup. Leah, you need to let me put the makeup on you, sister. Okay, so I'm bronzed. It is just, it's kind of glowy, you know what I mean? It just is, it's kind of like I've been at the beach, but it gives me that color and I love it. And in the bright daylight, when you're outside, you don't look white, you don't look orange, you don't look anything. You just look like you've just been kissed by the sun, which I love. And now we're gonna go into, I don't know what color lip and cheek. I think we're gonna do Hollywood. Here's the color Hollywood. It's kind of like the NARS, the famous one from NARS. It's got the little bit of the pink shimmers in it, but I love it. And I think it mixes really well with our bronzer. It's just really pretty. And hey, I'm wearing a red shirt. It don't matter. You throw those things that navy and black don't go together, and pink and red don't go together. They go together. You make them work. I love Hollywood too. It's my favorite. It is, and it's a very popular one, and I don't know why I don't reach for it more, but I have found myself, it's in my favorite palette now. This is in my Carry palette that I take all the time, and I find myself reaching for it more and more. Okay. Other than my lips, I'm done. And I could do lips, or I don't have to do lips, but I'm going to real quick. I'm going to grab this multitasker. I'm going to go back because we're going to multi-purpose the things that we have. And I'm going to use this indigo. And I'm just going to use this flat paddle. And then I'm going to outline my lips. I'm going to use it as a liner. Now, I will tell you, as much as I love these colors, when you use these, I don't feel like they would last as long as like a liquid lipstick or anything. But again, you can grab this, throw it in your purse and go, and you can keep applying as you need to. But they won't last like a, you know, some of your liquid lipsticks that are long lasting made to do that. But they do last long enough. But I also put a gloss on whenever I do this to help it last longer. So I just outline my lips. And then I'm going to go back to Hollywood. I can use my fingers or my brush. Just swap my little brush in there. And we're going to put this pink Hollywood on. And then I'm going to top it with some gloss. This is my City Lips gloss. And I don't use a lot of gloss. I just barely tap it around. And there you have it, fellas. My face in one. Maybe if I zoom in so you can see some of my pores and stuff like that too. But I mean, for my skin, I'm not going to say it's completely troubled skin because I've been using good skincare and it's really helped it a lot. But I don't have the prettiest skin. But when I put this on, it just makes my skin such a prettier version of itself. And again, it gives you what I like about it the most is I feel like it gives you the confidence to go out without makeup. So having the makeup that makes you feel good about yourself gave me the confidence to be able to go out and not care if I have makeup. I mean, I'm in my mid-40s now, so sometimes I go out and think, oh my gosh, I look like I'm in my mid-80s. I look like I should be with Betty White. And so, but instead, when I wear this, then I feel, because I think, hey, I can put it on if I want to and feel better about myself, or I don't have to wear it. So, and nobody has to wear makeup. If it just makes you feel good and it's fun, go for it. So that's what I'm here for. So if you want a color match, please send me a message or comment below, and I will be glad to send you the link so that you can fill it out, or you can just send me a selfie on any of my messaging, on any of the social media, and I will be glad to get back to you. I try to turn everything around within a day, because I know when I first sent my color match in, I wanted it cat quick, because I wanted to go ahead. I was ready to order. I was like, I want it now. So you don't want to lose that fire you've got. So I will try to turn it around and send it back to you, and then we'll work together. When you get it in, if you got questions and stuff, I'm here for you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you the next time I go live.